Hello everyone, this is Destro, and as you can see, I am once again back to Dishonored. I didn't actually expect this DLC to come out so soon, but hey, it has, and I'm not complaining. This is The Knife of Dunwall, and it focuses on Daud, who is, as I believe I've mentioned, my favorite character in the game. This is a relatively short DLC, it's only got 3 missions in it, and we're gonna see if we can't apply my, normal strategy to things. I've already gone through this once, just playing normally, and well, this one's gonna be a thing. So
one more job shouldn't have mattered. I'd killed nobles before. You could float a whaling ship on the high-born blood I've spilled. Another noble steps in to replace the last one. All equally corrupt.
little arrows there are a nice touch.
Why should an Empress be different? But she was. I watched her bodyguard's face as they took him away. Dead eyes. I knew I'd pay for this one. Maybe I deserve to.
And there's the Lord Regent and
The
Campbell.
storm was coming. It would shake apart everything I'd built.
No! Get away from her! Father! Mommy!
And we see the assassination from a different angle. Now, one thing that I would like to point out is this letter here. Corvo saw a similar scene to this. His letter was different. And here, we see one of the first things that makes Daud unique. Namely, that if you hold the button for blink without holding on to any of the jump buttons or any of the other movement controls, thusly, time stops, and you can just kind of float in one place. Skip the coach entirely. Game don't care. Game's like, oh yeah, you did it. You got to the coach. Bits of Dunwall Tower, just kind of floating around. And I think you can make this jump. Whoop! Apparently you can't. And missing it sets you back on the coach. Well, that's fine. Learn something new, right? Why not? Thought you could probably get onto that bit there, but well, whatever. Proof of concept, I suppose.
My old friend. It's been a long while, but you've got my interest again. How the years pass and the bodies fall. Did you know that there are only 8 like you in the world, bearing my mark?
Soon to be 9.
Right. The Empress was different. This time, you can't just fade away into the shadows. There will be consequences. Your story is close to ending, and even you can't escape it. But what ending will you make for yourself? I'm here to give you one last gift, Daud. It's a mystery. One that starts with a name. Delilah.
And here we see the first mission. The Rothwild Slaughterhouse.
For 6 months, the city writhed and changed. For 6 months, I tried to forget what I'd done to the Empress and her little girl. But there was no forgetting. I needed to find my next move. But all I had was that name. Delilah. Who was she? A threat? Or an ally? Word came from my second-in-command, Billy Lurk. In a house built on secrets, Lurk was especially good at uncovering them. There was a ship called the Delilah that hunted whales for Bundry Rothwild, a former deckhand who'd made good. Now he owned a slaughterhouse, and he ran his workers like a prison gang. A ship named Delilah. It could be a coincidence, but it's not. In Dunwall, things are always tangled up like a bag of snakes.
And here we see another new mechanic, favors, which are things you can kind of buy before the mission. The Knife of Dunwall does not have a sort of in-between location like the Hound Pit's pub. There's no PRO you go to buy your stuff. You just get a menu before each mission and you pick off of that. Now, the favors in this case are the safe code, which I will take, the stolen rune, which I will take, and silent sabotage, which I will not take because I'm not going to be using that method. You started off with 2,000 coins, by the way. Now, let's see, what can I buy? I can get some more choke dust. I've got 3 of those, though, and I think that should be a good number. I will take some more sleep darts. And I will also take reload, combat sleep dart, and accuracy for the wrist bow. You don't have any bone charms yet. I could take the capacity, but I won't really need it until later. So we'll save some money for now. And start the mission. Now, controls for this are pretty much the same as they were for regular Dishonored. We've got our one single note that we found there. And we start off with 2 each of those. And another thing that makes Daud different is his powers. He gets Arcane Bond, which affects Summon Assassin. He gets Bend Time, Blink, and Void Gaze. Void Gaze is basically a combination of Dark Vision and the Heart. It does show you the location of bone charms and runes, so I will actually be using that, and we will get a little bit of Destro's adventures in sort of blue-toned Dunwall. It looks a little different from Corvo's. Bend Time's the same. Summoned Assassin replaces Summoned Rats. There's no, oh, what was it? The wind vortex thing that nobody... Wind Blast that nobody ever used, really. And then these are all the same. Anyways, I don't have any runes just yet, so we'll have to walk forwards first.
Daud, you're here. I got bored, so I started without you. Turns out we're here on the perfect day. There's a strike at the plant, and it's no wonder. Rothwild runs this place like a prison. The stupid workers can't even get in without a time card. When the strike started, the butchers confiscated all the cards they could find. They've given the City Watch free rein to use force. If you ever wondered why I wanted out of the slums, here's your answer. There'll be other ways in, I'm sure of it. You don't mind if I tag along, right? Just to keep an old man safe. One last thing. I found something for you. I know you collect these. I'll be on the rooftops till you need me.
And there's a rune. So, let's go get some of those powers I mentioned. The costs for these have also been adjusted. Bend Time still costs 2 for the first rank, but it only costs 6 for the second rank. Blink, however, costs 4 for the second rank instead of, I believe, 3? And agility still actually just costs 1 for the first rank. Now I do kind of want that, so I'll get that first. Because jumping higher is a good thing. Unfortunately, there are also a lot fewer runes in this DLC.
You have to give me back my time card. I can't get back in. You had no right to take it.
Try and get past me, and I'll see you swinging from a meat hook.
Go home, mister. Orders are to confiscate those cards, no exceptions.
I hope you die weeping, all of you. I hope the plague gets you.
And guards, of course, still suffer from an inability to look up. Yeah, right. Hang on, let me get my... There we go. Blink. Unfortunately, there are some guards on the higher ground, like this guy here, so I kind of have to wait for him to go away before I move on up. Because, if you recall my rules from my last run-through, I don't get noticed. I don't kill people that I don't have to. And, if at all possible...
Your own squad after what happened last night? Chances are very good.
If at all possible, I avoid having any dead bodies or, you know, unconscious bodies or whatever. I prefer for people to never even know I was here, really. That's how the best assassin should work. Now. I think there's a guy out there. And I cannot quite reach up there. Yeah, there he is. You see him? But I can go behind this stuff, and he won't see me. And then up there. And now he's none the wiser. Okay. So, next thing is next. Drop down here, because that's a dead weeper there. I need him. Come with me, Mr. Dead Weeper. And let's go up here.
Attention. Under plague conditions, failure to report for work at industries deemed vital to state interests has been declared treasonous by the Lord Regent.
And over here. And now, over here. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to finish this thing. Because you see, this is one of Granny's recipes. Portside eye of a whale newly dead, plop in the pot, grizzly and red, weeper, weeper, weeps no more, laid to rest on blood-etched floor. And that's from Granny Rags.
They used to tell stories about a woman in the slums who did work like this. Granny Rags. They said she was 100 years old.
And you see now the cooking pot has lit up. We need to get an eye of a whale to put in there, and we'll get a rune for our troubles. Speaking of runes, why don't I go ahead... yes. See, there is a bone charm in there. I might be able to sneak in and get that. I might. But it would be tricky, and there's a good chance of being noticed.
This is a reminder
So I'm not
that
sure I
collective
will.
bargaining in any industry deemed vital to the state
I think
is
I'll
a
stick
capital
with
offense.
the stuff going on
These
over
include
here.
metallurgy, whale collection and refinement, security services, and selected legal and clerical specializations.
Now up here on the roof, there's
Consult
nobody
the
will
city
notice me.
barrister for clarification and enforcement.
You've had your fun, Butcher. When does the oil start to flow again?
It's all fixed, Chief. We got their time cards rounded up, and now we got their mouthy leader.
So you know the Regent doesn't give a shit who wins your little labor dispute. The Regent cares about the whale oil coming out on schedule.
He'll get what he needs. Just keep the strikers in line.
Now, there is a safe in there, and the combination is one of the things I bought a favor for. Now, let's see if I can just... yeah, and you see, much better demonstration now that I can jump higher, that you just kind of freeze in place.